Yeah, we'll start then. So in the previous session, we were discussing about pre-indexing, wherein we had control on so whether the base register RN will be updated or not using the exclamatory mark after the completion of an instruction. Right? So this exclamatory mark, if it was there, then the base register would be updated. If it is not there, the base register will not be updated. See why it is not pre-indexing? Because before you index the memory, that is before you address the memory, you will add these two. Okay, you will add or subtract these two. The base register contents with the offset, and then you access that particular location in the memory. So that is why it is known as pre-indexing. Right? So before you index the memory, before you make memory access or you do memory access, this is added or subtracted. That is why it is known as pre-indexing, and the exclamatory mark shows whether you can update the base register or not. If it is there, it will update the base register after the completion of the instruction. If the exclamatory mark is not there, then it will not update the base register after the completion of the instruction. So next we'll talk about post-indexing. So post-indexing means, see, the reverse of pre-indexing. What will happen here is, so first you access the or index the memory. So first you access the memory, whether it is a read or write, then the offset is added or subtracted from the base register, right? And one thing you have to remember, in post-indexing, always the base register will be updated. Always the base register will be updated. So post-indexing memory access instruction carry out the memory transfer using the base register or base address specified by the base register, and then update the address register afterwards. Right? So this is the example of post-indexing, and in post-indexing always the base register will be updated. So there is no need of adding or using the exclamatory mark. The base register is always updated. So for example, ldr.w, right? So there is an example here, ldr.w, r0, r1, hash offset. Okay, so and you can see the change in syntax here. Only r1 is there within the square bracket. If you see the pre-indexing, so both rn, the base register, and the offset was there within the square brackets. So here only the base register is in the square brackets followed by the offset. So what will happen here is, since it is LDR, so memory read operation is taking place from the memory to a register. So the destination register is R0. So what will happen is read memory R1 pointed by R1, fine, and store that value to R0. So whatever the contents of memory, store that to R0, and then update R1 plus offset. So R1 will always, sorry, this, yeah, the base register R1 will always be updated with the offset. Fine. So we shall take an example. So we shall take the example of the same values that we had taken previously. See, that is 8,000. So we'll assume the same value here also. Fine. So we shall assume that R1, the contents of R1 is 8,000. Fine. So what is the assumption? First we'll write this. Assumption is R1 value is 0x 8,000. Right? This is R1 value. So what is the instruction? ldr.w r0, within square brackets R1 hash offset. So I'll take the offset to be hash. So that is offset. I'll take the offset to be 0x 0 4. Okay, so I'll take the offset to be 0x 0 4. Right? And the instruction is LDR So what is the instruction? So it is R0, comma R1, comma hash. So what is the offset? It is 0x04. This is the offset. Okay. So now we'll assume that this is the memory that we have. So we'll assume that this is the location 8000. See, 8000 means, so remember it is 0x40. So because it is 32-bit address, 4 zeros followed by 8000. This is the address pointed by R1. So this is where R1 is pointing. Remember that. Okay. So R1 is pointing here. And we know that each location in the memory can store only 8 bits. Right? So this location will have some 8-bit value. Let's say we'll assume that 8-bit value is 1, 2. Okay. So next location is this. This is 0x. This is 8001. So let's say this value is 3, 4. Just assumption. That's all. So next value is 0x. This is 8002. So this is let's say this value is 5, 6. And next value is 0x 8003. So this is having the value 7, 8. So now after this instruction is executed, LDR R0, R1, it is R1 within square brackets, hash 04. So it is a post indexing. What will happen is, so according to the instruction description, so read memory pointed by the contents of R1. Read the memory location pointed by the contents of R1. So R1 is 8000. So R1 is pointing to which location? It is 4 zeros followed by 8000, this location. So and it is here. So I forgot to write. So it is LDR.W. Okay, so it is LDR.W. So we are trying to load. It is not specified whether it is byte, half word, or word. Okay, so since it is not specified, so it is we are trying to read a word data. Okay, we are trying to read word data. So then what will happen? Can anyone tell me what will happen? So starting from this location pointed by R1, that is 8000. So from this location, so 4 bytes, that is totally word, 32 bits of data will be accessed. So then R0 will be after the completion of instruction, R0 will be starting from 8000. So what is the content of 8000? It is 12. So this is first 8 bits. So next 8 bits is 34. Next location 8001. Next location is 8002. So the data is 56. So this is hexadecimal data. And next location is 8003, 78. So since it is LDR, okay, and it is not byte or word or half word, it is not specified. So it is word data only will be read into R0. So word means 32 bits. So to read 32 bits or to access 32 bits, you have to fetch 4 bytes. Okay, or you have to access 4 locations in the memory starting from wherever R1 is pointing. So the location wherever R1 is pointing, which is 8000. Okay, so this is loaded to R0. And since it is post indexing, always the base register, which is R1, will be updated. So with what value it will be updated? It will be updated with the present value of R1, which is 0x8000 plus the offset. So what is the offset? 0x04. So total R1 value after completion of this instruction. After completion of this instruction will be 0x8004. Since it is post indexing, always the data of the R1, that is the base register Rn, will be updated. So this is about the post indexing instruction. Right? So when post indexing instruction is used, there is no need to use exclamatory sign. So that is what I told, because all the post indexing instructions update the base register, whereas pre-indexing you might choose whether to update the base register or not. Fine. So there is a control over updation of base register only whenever you do pre-indexing, whenever you use pre-indexing instruction. So some examples of post-indexing instruction. You can see here ldr.w. So this is what we discussed. RD comma, so within bracket, within square brackets rn, comma hash offset. So it is load a word data from the memory location pointed by rn, fine, and after loading the data, word data, update the value of rn because it is post indexing. So next is byte. So you can only load a byte of data. You can load a half word of data, and you can load double word. So double word means 64 bits. So in case of 64 bits, so what will happen is, so since you are trying to read 64 bits, so the destination registers will be two registers because one register can hold only 32 bits. So hence, so first, see, 32 bits will be stored in RD1 and second 32 bits will be stored in RD2. Right? So next is LDR SB, LDR SB.W. So what is this is post indexing load instructions for various sizes with sign extend. Okay, so with sign extend. So what do you mean by sign extend? So I'll take again this example of the same example. So I'll take this LDR. So what is the instruction LDR? SB. I'll take SB.W. LDR SB.W. Fine. So again, I'll take the same operands R1, sorry, R0, comma, within brackets R1, comma, hash offset. So offset is, let's say, 0x04. So again, it's post indexing instruction, but with sign extend. So what do you mean by sign extend? So we shall see that. See, first thing is you are trying to access a byte of data. SB is there. So B means byte of data. So what you are trying to do? You're trying to access a memory location pointed by R1. Pointed by R1. So the contents of R1 is 8000. We know that. Right? Pointed by R1. And how much data you are trying to access? Byte of data. That's all. Okay. Again, what will happen? So R1 is pointing to 8000, this location. So what is the data in 8000 location? It is 12. Okay. So R0 will be equal to since you are trying to access only byte of data, not a word, not 32 bits. So only 12, that is 8 bits. So what this instruction will do is, first it will access the location pointed by R1, and whatever the data, it will copy it to R0. It will copy it to the last 8 bits of R0. So 12 will be copied here. Okay. So still, so this is 8 bits. So still 24 bits are pending. Okay. So this 24 bits are pending. So 12 bits are, sorry, 8 bits are, the value is 12 because we are trying to access only byte of data from the location pointed by R1, which is 8000. So in this location, the data is 12. So this is 12. So it will be copied here. So it will be copied to the last 8 bits, 12. So now how will you write 12? So 12 is equal to, so first you have to write 1. So how will you write 1? So each digit here is represented by 4 digits in binary. So since it is hexadecimal, whenever you convert to binary, so this 1 will be represented as 0, 0, 0, 1. So this is 1, and 2 is represented as 0, 0, 1, 0. So this is totally 8 bits. So the 8 bits are copied to R0. So what about the remaining 24 bits? So since it is sign extends here, so it is LDR SB. So SB means S stands for sign extend. So you have to copy the sign here. So which sign will you copy? Which bit will be copied? See, always if it is 8 bits, if it is 8 bits data, the sign bit is always represented by the MSB, okay, of the 8 bits. The MSB of the 8 bits. So which is the MSB here? In 1, 2, so what is the MSB? It is 0. So this is LSB, okay, bit 0. This is the LSB and this is MSB. So what is the value of MSB here? 0. So this is sign bit. So this bit should be copied to the remaining 24 bits. To the remaining 24 bits of R0. So that is what you mean by sign extend. Okay, that is what you mean by sign extend. So if you copy the remaining 0, the remaining bits with all zeros, so what is the value we will get in R0? We shall take the example here. So first 8 bits we know the values. Okay, so this is 0th bit, 1, 2, 3. This is 4th bit, 5th bit, 6th bit and 7th bit. So this is R0. Okay, so we know the values for first 8 bits. So what is the value? It is 12. Why? Because that is the content of the memory location 8000 where R1 is pointing, because R1 value is 8000. So 12. So how will you write 12? So 12 is 1, 2. So 1, 2 means how will you write 1? So 1 is 0, 0, 0, 1. So this is 1. And 2 is 0, 0, 1, 0. So now since it is sign extend, so remaining 24 bits, you have to extend the sign. So extend the sign of the first 8 bits. So the first 8 bits, the sign will be the MSB bit of the first 8, which is bit 7. Okay, so what is the value of bit 7? It is 0. So you have to extend this 0 to the remaining 24 bits. Fine. So remember, so these 4 bits is 1 and these 4 bits is 2. So the next 4 bits, if you extend 0, this will be 0. Okay, so again, the next 4 bits again you have to extend, because all the 24 bits you have to extend the sign. Remaining 24 bits. So it is another 0. Okay. So next another 4 bits. So this is 0. So next another 4 bits. It is 0 again. So next 4 bits. So remaining all 24 bits we have to assign zeros. So the remaining last 4 bits is 0. So this is the new value of R0 after that instruction completes. So what is that instruction? LDRSB.W. So R0. Okay, so remaining bits will be here. Remaining bits will be 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, followed by 12. So 12 is already there. So it will be 0x 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, followed by 12. Okay, so this is what will be the contents of R0 after LDRSB.W, R0, comma, hash R1, comma, hash 0x4. Right? So we shall take one more example. So now I'll change the let's say the contents. Okay. So I'll change the content. So let's say I'll take the content of R1. I'll take the content of R1 to be 0x 8001. This is the content of R1. Okay. And I'll change the contents of 8000. So let's say this, instead of 34, it is 84 now. Right. So now the instruction I'll use is LDRSB dot W R0, comma, within square brackets R1, comma, hash 0x04. So now let's see what will be the content of R0 after execution of instruction, and what is the content of R1 after the execution of instruction. Fine. So now analyze this and tell me where R1 is pointing, to which location is R1 pointing. R1, since R1 content is 8001, so R1 is pointing to this location, 8001. So it is 32-bit address. So first 4 zeros followed by 8001. So the contents of 8001 memory location is 84. Fine. So first this 84 is copied to R0 and it will be copied to the last 8 bits. The last 8 bits, the content 84 will be copied to R0. So if you go to the bitwise representation, so this is R0. So the first 8 bits 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the first 8 bits, the least significant 8 bits, the content that will be copied will be 84. So how will you write 8? So 8 is 1 followed by 4 zeros. This is 8. And 4 you'll write it as 0, 1, 0, 0. Fine. So this is 4 and this is 8. So totally 8 bits. So now according to the instruction it is LDR SB. So we have already copied byte from the memory location pointed by R1. Next you have to sign extend. It is SB. So S is sign extend. So you have to extend the sign of the 8 bits that you have copied. So the sign of these 8 bits will be available in the the MSB of the 8 bit. Okay, the MSB of the 8 bits. So the MSB of this 8 bits is bit number 7. So what is the value of 7? It is 1. So you have to copy this 1 to the remaining 24 bits. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is 1. Next 4 bits, you have to copy the same sign. This is 1 again. The next 4 bits. This is 1 again. This is 1 again. So these 4 bits is 1. So last 4 bits is again 1. Okay. So the remaining values, so 84 is copied to the last 8 bits. So the remaining 24 bits values will be 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. So that is the content of R0. So it will be 0x 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1 followed by 84. And what will be the value of R1? So R1, since it is post-indexing instruction, so R1 values will be always updated. So R1 will be updated to the contents of R1, which is 8001 plus the offset. So it is 0x 04. So it will be updated to 0x 8005. So this is the content of R1, 0x 8005. So this is the examples for post-indexing instructions. So next, other memory access instructions are push and pop. For example, so push R0, R4 to R7, R9. So we are trying to store totally R0, one register, next R0 to R7, R4 to R7. So R4, R5, R6 and R7. So totally 4 registers. So 4 plus 1 is 5 plus 1, 6. Totally 6 registers contents you are trying to store into the stack memory. Right? So already we have discussed about push and pop instruction. So if it is push instruction, the stack pointer is decremented by 4 and then the store operation will take place. Okay, so first it is SP minus 4 and then the store operation will take place if it is a push operation. And if it is a pop operation, so first the contents of the memory locations pointed by stack pointer will be accessed or retrieved, and then the stack pointer will be adjusted by SP plus 4. So that is what will happen. Right? So here for further information, please go through that video wherein I have talked about the push and pop instruction. Usually push instruction will have corresponding pop with the same register list, but this is not always necessary. Right? So it can be any order. So usually it will be in the reverse order, but if you want to change the registers also, you can change that. So next is Cortex M3 has number of special registers. Special registers. So if you remember the special registers, so the stack pointer, then the control register, then the PSR, then the fault mask register. So these are all special registers. To access these registers, we use instructions MRS and MSR, that is special access registers. So first instruction you can see is MRS. So it is read from special register. So read from special register PSR. Right? So PSR, whenever it is just PSR, so you are accessing all the three PSRs. Right? So all the three PSRs, if you remember, PSR is classified into three registers, separate registers. So all these three will be accessed simultaneously, and it will be copied. The contents will be copied to R0. So always I told it is copy the contents. So MRS is read from special register. So next is MSR. MSR is, so it is write to the special register. So here the special register taken is control register. Fine. So control register. So the contents of R1 will be copied to control register. So R1 is having some value that will be copied to control register. So it is write the value of R1 into control register. So next is, unless you are accessing APSR, that is application program register, you can use MSR or MRS to access other special registers. That means the APSR can be accessed using move instruction also, but to access other special registers, you have to use MSR or MRS. Next is moving immediate data into register is common thing to do. For example, you might want to access a peripheral register, right? So this is move immediate data. So it is move S R0, #12. So you're trying to do, or you're trying to copy an immediate data that is 0x12. It is the hexadecimal data to R0. Okay. So in this case, you can use move S. See this move S, it is usually used to move move the immediate data which is 8 bits or less. So that is how you can, or that is when you can use move S. Right? So you can see the immediate data here, it is only 8 bits. So that is why you can use move S. Move S can be used to move the immediate data which is 8 bits or less. So if you want to, or if you want to move an immediate data which is more than 8 bits, then you have to go for, you can see the instruction move w.w R0. When move w.w R0. So where the immediate data you can see is more than 8 bits, so it is 16 bits. So 0x hash 0x7899. So it is 16-bit immediate data you're trying to move to R0. So in that case, whenever the immediate data is more than 8 bits, so you have to go for move w.w. You cannot use move S, because this can be used only if the immediate data is 8 bits or less. So next, if you want to move a 32-bit data, okay, you can use two instructions to set the upper and lower halves. So what is that? So move w.w R0, hash 0x789A. This is set R0 lower half to 789A. So this is the immediate data. So next, what about the upper half? So this is lower 16 bits will be set to this value. What about the higher 16 bits of R0? So to move the value in the higher 16 bits, so you have to use move t.w. Okay, move t.w R0, hash 0x3456. So here only the higher 16 bits of R0 will be copied with this data. So the lower 16 bits will not be altered. The lower 16 bits will be kept as it is, which is 789A. So after completion of both the instructions, you can see the contents of R0. So what is the contents of R0? R0 equal to 0x3456789A. Okay, so first you are copying the lower 16 bits with this data, and next the higher 16 bits with 3456. This is to move the immediate data into lower 16 bits and higher 16 bits of R0. Okay. So next we'll talk about LDR and ADR. So LDR, so we have already used LDR here. If you remember, you see here LDR.w. So you are trying to access the memory. The LDR and STR, they deal with memory access. So either it is read or write. So LDR is read from memory. So LDR R0, comma I equal to address 1. So what will be loaded to R0 is, see where this address 1. So address 1 is actually a label. So where is this address 1 pointing? It is pointing to here. Okay. So in this label, so what is actually happening after this label? So you are seeing here some instructions are there after this label. So that is after this label or at this label, instructions are starting. That means this address 1 label, it is a program address. It is a program address or code address or a code label. So it points to code. So from that location, some code is written, some instructions are written. So in that case, so R0 will be copied with here 4001, he says. Why it is 4001? So he says this address 1 is pointing to a location whose address is 4000. So that means, so after completion of this instruction, R0 should be having the contents 4000 because that is what is the address of this label. But R0 is copied with the value 4001. So why this 1 is being added? So if you remember in the reset sequence also, so there was a 1 added in the LSB. So this 1 added in the LSB, this is it is automatically done. Why? Because that indicates the thumb mode. Okay, so that last 1 indicates the thumb mode. Okay, so that is why that LSB is set to 1. So if you don't set that LSB to 1, so if it remains to 0, then that means you're trying to switch the state from thumb to ARM state. Okay, so which is not available in Cortex M3, which will result in a fault exception. So hence, automatically here, if that address is a program address, so that is what is in this case. So this address 1 is a program address. Why? Because instructions are there after this label. So since instructions are there after this label, it is considered to be a program address. Okay. Hence, the assembler will automatically set the LSB to 1. So even though the label address 1 is at the location 4000, so a 1 is automatically added. Okay, so hence R0 will be having the value 4001. Fine. So this 1 in the LSB indicates that it is thumb code or thumb state. Fine. So that is what. Now the next scenario is, what if this label that you have used is not a program address, it is a data address or it is a data label. So that is talked about here. You can see here same instruction sequence LDR R0 comma equal to address 1. So now where this address 1 label is pointing here to location 4000, but in this location 4000 this label is pointing, you can see here some data is available. So DCD, define constant data, so 0x0. So some data is available in this label. So whenever data is available in this label, so whenever you copy this address, so 1 will not be added in the LSB automatically. So you can see if address 1 is data address, in this case address 1 is a data address. Why? Because in this level there is some data defined. No program is defined here, no code is defined, some data is defined. So hence LSB will not be changed. So that is, so the address of this label is 4000. So 4000 itself will be loaded to R0. So automatically a 1 will not be added to the LSB because this address is a data address, not a code address or a program address. Right? So similarly, you can use ADR. Fine. So LDR and ADR. See, but ADR cannot be used in all scenarios. See, that example is there. So ADR, see, LDR obtains immediate data by putting the data in the program code and uses PC relative load to get the register. But ADR, see, tries to generate immediate value by adding or subtracting instructions. Right? That is why ADR can generate small code sizes compared to LDR. So ADR should be used whenever the code size is small. But LDR can be used whenever the code size is large also. So what do you mean by code size? Because means, see, let's say this instruction ADR is in the location 0x1000. This is where ADR R0, address is there. And you can change this, you can see the change in the syntax. So for LDR, you have to use an equal to here, but there is no equal to here. Okay, directly you can use the label. So ADR R0, label, which is address 1. So this instruction is at 1000. Okay, so that is 0x1000. Now this label, it is pointing to a location, okay, of 4000. 4000, right? So this instruction will not be possible. Why? Because as I told, ADR can be used whenever the code is small. What do you mean by code is small? See, here the instruction is at 1000 and the jump, this label is located at 4000. So the difference is 0x3000. If you take the subtraction of 4000 minus 1000, the difference is 3000. So 3000 hexadecimal location you have to jump. Okay, you have to find out the address. So that is not possible for ADR. Okay, so ADR should be used whenever the code size is very small. So example, so let's say instead of 1000, let's say this is located at 0x3000 950, 0x3950. So this is where this instruction is located, ADR R0, address. And where is this address 1, the label located at 4000. So this is possible. Why? Because see, if you take the difference now, 4000 minus 3950, so the difference is only 50. The difference is 50. So this is a small code. This is possible. So now in this scenario, in such scenarios, you can use ADR. Okay. So what will be loaded to R0 now? So ADR R0, address means, so what is the address of this label, address 1? It is 4000. So 4000 will be loaded to R0. Right? So here you can see, even though this address 1 is a program address, you can see, so after this label, some code is written. So that means a code starts or a program starts after this label. Even though address 1 is a program address, so 1 will not be automatically added to the LSB. So R0 will have the contents equal to 4000, 0x4000 only. So this LSB will not be added with 1 automatically. So that will only happen in LDR. And if that address is a program address. So in ADR, even though this address is a program address, this automatic 1 will not be added. It will be 0 only. So R0 will have 4000 only. So that 1 will not be added automatically. That is what is explained here. So next set of instructions we'll talk about is processing data. That is data processing instructions. So Cortex M3 provides many different instructions for data processing. So few basic ones are introduced. So not all. So we'll talk about basic data processing instructions. Right? So for example, first data processing instruction is add. So add R0, R0, R1. So what is happening here? So R0 is added with R1 and the total result is again stored back to R0. Okay, so all these are add instructions. You can see add yes, and add dot w. Fine. So all these are add instructions, but they have different syntaxes. And binary traditional thumb instruction syntax, when 16-bit thumb code is used, an add instruction can change the flags of the PSR. Okay, so remember, usually majority of 16-bit instructions, they change the APSR or they update the APSR automatically. There will be no control if you use 16-bit instructions. So majority 16-bit instructions automatically update the application program status register, that is but flags. So that is why we have to go for 32-bit versions. Okay, 32-bit versions where you have the control. So what is the control? Either change of a flag or keep it unchanged. So it can be controlled if you go for 32-bit instruction. So that is why, so whenever you require a control on updation of flags, so you have to go for 32-bit instruction, 32-bit data handling instructions. Okay, data operation instructions. So example is given here. You can see. So both are 32-bit instructions, but one will change the flag. So it is add yes.w. So we already have discussed what yes will do. So yes will update the APSR. If you don't use yes, if you just use add.w r0, r1, r2, so flags are unchanged because yes is not used. So what is the takeaway from here is, see, most of the data processing instructions, okay, most of the data processing instructions which are of 16 bits, okay, if the data processing instructions are of 16 bits, then the programmer does not have the control on whether the APSR will be updated or not. Okay, there is no control. So most of the 16-bit instructions, they will always update the flags. Okay, they will always update the APSR. If you want control on updation of the APSR, whether you want to update it or not, then it is always a best practice to go for 32-bit versions of the data processing instructions, wherein there is a control on updation of flags. So you can see that in these two examples. So one will update the flags and one will not update the flags. Okay, and clearly the control is with the programmer. He can use either yes or he may not use X. Okay, so he may use or he may not use based on his requirement, whether he wants to update the flags or not. So aside from add, so other data handling instructions are also there. Okay, so other data processing instructions are also there. So which are those? So subtraction, multiplication. So in multiplication, there is signed multiplication as well as unsigned multiplication. And in division, there is signed division as well as unsigned division also. Okay, so now same thing is explained here. See, these instructions can be used with or without yes suffix to determine whether APSR should be updated or not. Fine. So in most cases, if UAL syntax is selected and if yes suffix is not used, the 32-bit version of the instruction would be selected, as most 16-bit instructions will update the APSR. So that is what I told. So most of the 16-bit instructions update the APSR. So that is why if you want to have the control, go for 32-bit version of the instructions, right? Wherein you will have the control of updation of flags or not using the yes suffix. So some of the instructions are discussed here. So examples of arithmetic instructions. So we are talking about data operation instructions. In that, arithmetic instructions. So example, add, rd, rn, rm. Fine. So if you write like this, so you can see here there is no control for using a 16-bit instruction or a 32-bit instruction. So by default, it will go for 16-bit instruction because you are not specified whether it is W or not. If that is the case, then you don't have the control on updation of flags. Okay, you don't have the control on updation of flags. Next is add rd, hash immediate. So you are trying to add immediate data to RD and store the data back to RD. So you can see the description of instruction here. So RD plus the hash immediate. Then, so next is you are trying to add the data of RN with immediate data and store the value in RD. Next is ADC, so add with carry. So these instructions, they do not consider carry, but next you can see add with carry is also there. Next add W is there. So add register with 12-bit immediate value. Okay, 12-bit immediate value. So whenever this immediate value that you are trying to add, if it is more than 8 bits, then you have to go for W, add W. Okay, so this immediate value is more than 8 bits. Similarly, subtraction is there. Subtraction with borrow is there. SBC. Fine. So next is reverse subtract is there. So what is this reverse subtract we do? So RSB.W, RD, RN, hash immediate. So what this reverse subtract will do is it will subtract the immediate value. Okay. So it is immediate value minus the value of RN. So previously you can see it was RN minus immediate value in subtract. But in reverse subtract, it is immediate value minus RN. And the result is stored in RD. This is reverse subtract. Okay, and reverse subtract registers is also available. So previously subtract means here, subtract means Rn minus Rm will happen. But in reverse subtract, what will happen is Rm minus Rn is happening. You can see it. Rm minus Rn is happening. The destination is RD. So similarly, multiply is there. And division, signed and unsigned division is there. Fine. So next, you can see in multiply there are 32-bit multiply instructions. So this multiply RD, RM, this is 16-bit multiply instruction. So these two are 16-bit multiply instructions. So now 32-bit multiply. So why it is 32-bit multiply? Because you can see here the destination registers. So S mul, so it is signed multiplication, RD low, RD high. Okay, RN, RM. So it is the destination registers are two here. There are two destination registers, RD low and RD high. Why there are two destination registers? Because it is 32-bit multiplication you are doing. So you are doing a 32-bit operand multiplying with another 32-bit operand. So whenever it is 32-bit into 32-bit, the result will be 64 bits. Remember that. So whenever you multiply two 32-bit numbers, the result will be 64-bit numbers. And to store that 64-bit number, you require two destination registers. Okay, so one destination register is this, which is 32 bits, and the next 32 bits will be stored here. So the lower 32 bits in this register and the higher 32 bits in this high register. That is why it is 32-bit multiplication. Right? So next, you can see here, multiply and accumulate is also available. So as I told this in the previous sessions, multiply and accumulate are very important. Whenever it is a DSP application, data signal processing application, you can say SMLA. So it is multiply as well as accumulate, 32-bit. So what is happening here? You can see here. So you are multiplying Rn with Rm, and then you are adding that multiplication value with these contents, which are already available in the registers. It is not just multiply, it is multiply and accumulate. Okay, and these are signed multiplications. So there are unsigned multiplications also. So U mul and U mul AL. Okay, so unsigned multiplication, and accumulate. Both are available. Right? So next is logical operation instructions. So logical ANDing, logical ORing. So I think this is already discussed, fine, in the previous session. So logical AND and logical OR, logical XOR. This is already discussed in the previous session. Fine, and this is also discussed. Arithmetic shift right, arithmetic shift left. Okay. Logical shift right, logical shift left, and rotate. So these are already discussed in the previous session. You can remember these diagrams. Okay. So those who have attended the previous session, so you remember these diagrams. So these are already discussed. So next is sign extend instruction. So we just discussed what do you mean by sign extend instruction in LDR. Okay, so LDR. So if you remember here, so this is LDR SB.W. So this is load as well as sign extend. Same sign extend concept is here also. So SXTB means this sign extend instruction. Sign extend byte data into word data. So there is a byte data, you have to extend that to word data using sign. So you have to preserve the sign as it is. So that is what we discussed here in LDR SB also. Right? So that is how we got this result as well as the result here. So next is data reverse ordering. So data reverse ordering, REV, REV16, REV, SH. Okay, REV, REV16, REV, SH. So reverse bytes in the word. Okay, next is reverse bytes in the half word and reverse bytes in bottom half word and sign extend, SH. Fine. So we shall see that with diagram here. So this is REV.W. This is REV16.W and REV.SH.W. Fine. So we shall take an example. So REV, RD, RN. Fine. So I'll take the example. REV dot W R0, R1. So this is R1, fine, and this is R0. So R1, R1. So what we are trying to do, reverse REV.W. So you are trying to reverse bytes in the word. You are trying to reverse the bytes in the word. Fine. So R1 is having some value already. So let's say that value is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and this is 7, 8. So this value is already there in R1. So REV dot W R0, R1. So what this will do is it will reverse the bytes in the word. Okay, so see the description. Reverse the bytes in the word. So what will happen is this byte, which is the byte 0 to 7, the lowest byte. Okay, so this is the least byte. So you can see the arrow mark here. So this will come to the most significant byte here. This will come here. The least significant byte will come to the most significant byte. What is the value here? So this will be 12 now. After REV.W. So this will become 12. So next, the most significant byte, which is 78, will come to the least significant byte. So you can see the arrow mark here. So 78 will come to the least significant byte. Fine. So what about this bit, this byte 34? So this 34, you can see this arrow is indicating here. So this 34 will come to this byte. Okay, and this 56 will come to this byte. So this is reverse byte in the word data. Okay, reverse bytes in the word. So this is REV.W. Okay, so this is R1. So after reversing, R0 will have this value because the instruction is REV.W R0, R1. Okay. So next is REV16.W. So this is reverse bytes in half word. Okay, reverse bytes in half word. So again, if you take R1 and R0, so this is R1 and this is R0. So this is reverse byte in half word, not in word but half word. So the instruction will be REV16.W R0, R1. R0, R1. So what will happen? So R1 is already having some value. So again, I'll take the same value. So The first 8 bits is 12, next 8 bits is 34. This is 34. So next 8 bits is 56, and next 8 bits is 78. So this is the value in R0, R1. So after REV16.W, R0, R1, so what will happen? So you are reversing the bytes in half word. So previously you have taken the entire word, so you are reversing the bytes. But now the data is split into half words. That is, this is the first 16 bits of data. This is the first 16 bits, and this is the next 16 bits. So it is reverse bytes in the half word. So reverse byte in the first 16 bits. If you reverse bytes in the first 16 bits, what will happen is this 12, you can see the arrow mark, this 12, the least 8 bits will come and sit here because it is reverse byte in the half word. So this will come here, and this 34 will come here. Okay. So next is, so next 16 bits. So what will happen? This 56 will come here, since it is reverse the half word, reverse bytes in the half word. So, and this 78 will come and sit here. Right? So this is REV16.W. Next is REVSH.W. So it is reverse bytes in the bottom half word and sign extend. Fine. So again, if we take this as R1, so R1 I'll take the same values again. So this is 1, 2. This is 3, 4. This is 3, 4. This is 5, 6. And this is 7, 8. Fine. So let's say the instruction is REVSH.W, R0, comma, R1. So what will happen is, so R1 value is there already. So it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So now, so since the instruction is reverse bytes in bottom half word. So if you take the 32 bits and if you split this into 16 bits, so the bottom half word is this one. This is the bottom half word. So you have to reverse the bytes in the bottom half word. So first I'll reverse the bytes. So this 12 will come here. Okay. And this 34 will come here. So first I'm reversing the bytes in the bottom half word. Then after that you have to sign extend. You have to sign extend the remaining bits. So these bits will be lost. The above 16 bits will be lost. They will not be considered. But these 16 bits, whatever you have taken, you have to sign extend this. So how will you sign extend? You have to take the MSB of this data. So how will you take the MSB of 1, 2, 3, 4? So if you go back here, so 0x 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you represent this in terms of binary, so you have to represent first 1, it is 0, 0, 0, 1. So this is 1. Then you have to represent 2, 0, 0, 1, 0. Then you have to represent 3, 0, 0, 1, 1, 3. And you have to represent 4, 0, 1, 0, 0, 4. So this is 16 bits. So if you want to take the sign in the 16 bits, you have to go for the MSB. Okay, that is bit number 15. This is bit number 0, and this is bit number 15. So the sign bit is always in the MSB. So you have to go to the MSB. So and you have to take the MSB bit. So in this case, for data 1, 2, 3, 4, the MSB is 0. So you have to sign extend this 0 to the remaining bits. So you have to extend this 0 to the remaining bits. That means you will extend 0 for all the remaining bits, means so it will become 0, 0 and 0, 0. Because the remaining 16 bits you have to extend zeros. It will become 0, 0, 0, 0. So after completion of this instruction, REVSH.W, R0, R1, so the contents of R0, so this will be the contents of R0. So the contents of R0 will be equal to 0, 0, 0, 0 followed by 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So that is what REVSH will do. Fine. So next bit